If you're thinking about starting your first dropshipping e-commerce business in 2019 or 2020, then you're in luck, because in this video we're going to be going over from A to Z how you should set up your Shopify store or your e-commerce store and what to look out for and expect coming in 2019 and 2020. Hey guys, how's it going? Jeffrey again, back again with an e-commerce video. And today we want to go through something really special for all you guys. And this is going to be a super valuable packed video, so be sure to stay until the end. And today we're going to be talking about dropshipping in 2019 and 2020. You know, what you should expect, what you should implement, what you should do, and everything like that. So you don't want to miss out on this video, and let's get right to it. If you're new to this channel, also be sure to subscribe for more related content like e-commerce, affiliate marketing, or just making money online. And be sure to like the video, that tells me you enjoy the content, and comment down below BRANDFAM, that is our slogan in this channel. Basically, just to tell you guys, we're going to be doing a giveaway every time we reach about 15 comments or so. So be sure to comment down below so you can get on a call with me and review your store as well. So before we get to the content, we're going to split it into 6 different parts. There's going to be 6 pillars in total: the foundation, the logistics, the branding, the traffic, the backend, and the main strategy. So be sure to watch until the end, because we're going to be discussing and exposing the secret sauce, the main strategy of what you should do for your e-commerce business. So this is going to be a table of contents just to look back, just for you to get a reference on what we'll be talking about in the next 20 minutes or so. So the foundation, what you should really understand before starting a business. Even though if you're new, you should also understand this, because you have to kind of manage your expectations and know what to expect coming in 2019 and onwards. So for the product, you should always go with what's already working if you're a beginner, because that tells you that people are already buying the product. So instead of finding a niche and a product that you want to sell, try to look for products that people are already buying. That is a mentality shift that you have to do, and really important for beginners, because you want to make sales, and the best way to do that is to sell something that people already want to buy. So go with what's already working, and go with untapped products will be really hard to do because they're really hard to verify, and you don't really have historical data that people are buying it or that there's demand for it. So you want to kind of shy away from untapped products unless you know what to do already. You already have the experience. And as well as that, you should always do your product research. We have a couple of product research methods in this channel, so check it out. I'll probably leave a few down below in the description below, so check that out if you want to. And as for the budget goes, you need to have at least $1,000 to start, and that is what I recommend. And have the mentality that you're going to be ready to burn through a lot of money. Not a lot of money, but you're going to be burning through some money quick. Some money quick, even though you'll be getting some back from the sales that you make. But most of it is going to be burned through learning and advertising as well. So like I said, most of the budget is going to be through marketing, setting everything up. So for example, you want to have your Shopify apps, or maybe your software plans. I'll talk about more of that later. And mostly just advertising, in my opinion, whether it's Google ads, Instagram influencers, Facebook ads, and stuff like that. And your main storage strategy for your e-commerce store is going to be building a brand. That is going to be a complete must in 2019, because you can't make general stores that are just that have names like Gadget or anything like that, because it's really hard now in 2019 and it almost doesn't work. So your storefront design has to be congruent all the way through. Make sure you have the same color schemes, really good photos, lifestyle photos, and stuff like that. And like I said, general stores is still okay, but you have to make sure that it's premium looking and has a branded feel to it. And also in terms of managing expectations, you have to be prepared to fail and lose money, like we said before, because it is going to be a steep learning curve. You have to know the ins and outs of e-commerce, know how to run ads, know how to drive traffic, know what product to select, the ad copy, the ad creative, and stuff like that. And also make sure not to quit your job, because this is not going to be easy. There's a lot of stuff you're going to have to learn, and you're going to have to lose money along the way. So if you don't have enough funds and you need to, for example, feed yourself or your family or whatever, then make sure not to leave your job, because you can't really rely on this solely. This is going to be a huge nugget for you guys. And focus on, there's going to be also, you should also expect to have lots of problem solving as well, and figure things out on your own. So as such, you're going to have to be more resourceful, take the initiative to learn everything yourself, Google everything, YouTube videos on how to do something, tutorials, reviews, how to do certain things on a software or Shopify themselves. So you're gonna have to take initiative and be proactive and be a problem solver. So in terms of where to learn, you could also buy a course if you have the budget. I would recommend something not too expensive, for example, under $500. And basically it's going to cut your learning curve in half if you have the budget. But if you don't, and if you have around $1,000 to start or so, then I would recommend learning from YouTube just for free. And what I would recommend is sticking to 1 or 2 YouTube channels content. For example, myself or someone else's. Just because different strategies will confuse you. Different people have different ways of running their store and their e-commerce business, and even just how they make videos as well. So you don't want to confuse yourself. Just stick with a couple or a handful of YouTube channels so you can learn for maximum efficiency. Also, for support emails is very important. You want to have your support system in place for your store. You want to hire a VA if you want to or if you need to. And that should be your first thing to outsource when you're starting your store and starting to get some traction. So this is going to be the foundation of setting up your e-commerce store. So in terms of the logistics, in the beginning, to start off, you can start off with AliExpress in terms of fulfillment, finding products, and shipment and all that stuff. And you're going to be using Overload to import your products from AliExpress to your Shopify store if you're running a Shopify store. And for shipping options, you're going to be choosing ePacket or standard AliExpress shipping. But your main goal should be under 30 days of shipping time. Obviously, the faster the shipping times, the better. But obviously, you have to kind of balance it out between the prices and the shipping times as well. And once you're at the immediate stage or advanced stage, you want to go out of AliExpress, that's for certain. First, you could actually message vendors within your niche on AliExpress or a similar niche with actually good reviews. So make sure you do your due diligence before you do that. Second way to do that is to go through a private sourcing agent, which is basically someone who's going to help you find the suppliers, find the products and manufacturers to source the products and ship them for you. For the dedicated agent and supplier on AliExpress, you want to message them outside of AliExpress through Skype or WeChat, and then tell them your needs and tell them what you want and your requirements. And this is where you're going to build a good relationship with them. If you want more details on this, I have another video that I'll link down below on how to find suppliers and how to find dedicated agents. So be sure to check that one out as well. Also, a must-have nowadays in terms of logistics is to have good delivery times and processing times, because nowadays you cannot survive off 40-day shipping. It's going to be really hard for your customer service, and it's really hard to get your repeat customers back into your store. So make sure you have good shipping times as well. Try your best to find good shipping options and fulfillment times. As well as that, you need to have good communications and a good relationship with your supplier, because you need to tell them what you want and you need to tell them your requirements so your customer experience is on point, which we'll talk about later on in more detail. So keep watching. So in terms of the branding, when you find something that works, you have to make sure it seems like you are the original, brand or a legitimate store that is selling this product. Because at the end of the day, again, customer service and customer experience is going to be key. And one way to do that is to go through branding and good branding material. So in terms of packaging, you want to have custom packaging from your supplier. An agent or your AliExpress dedicated agent can help you do that as long as you communicate with your supplier on what you want. That is why in the previous slide I told you to keep a good constant communication with your supplier or your agent, because this is where it's going to come in and it's going to be really important to communicate your requirements. Depending on your product, obviously the packaging, you might have some physical restrictions in terms of packaging, but you should always have something that's more premium feeling. That is your goal here, to really increase your perceived value, because that means you can charge a higher price for your product and therefore higher margins and take away profits at the end of the day. You want to also focus on logo, just to get that product differentiation across, again to create the high perceived value that you want, because you want to have high increased price, an increased price for your product. You want to slap on your logo for your product. This is optional, but I would recommend it if you can. But again, there's going to be the restrictions depending on the size and all that and the dimensions. But you want to have the logo on the product, the packaging, the letters, and basically just everything, just to get that premium looking feel and more personalized as well. Also as well, you want to have a thank you letter, or it's completely optional, up to you of course. but you want to have a thank you letter telling them that you appreciate their business. You want to make them feel special and unique as well, to make them seem like it's a kind of like a gift or some sort, and make them feel more personal with you and the brand. So your goal here is to really create a long-lasting and build a really good relationship with them. And you can even give them a discount to come back and buy. For example, you can tell them there are certain other products that we sell in our store as well. Give them a discount, like 15% off, give them the discount code, and then go ahead from there. You're also going to have social media cards where it's going to link them to social media pages, your Instagram page, your Facebook page, your Pinterest page if you have one, your Twitter page, whatever you want. And really incentivize them to follow you, because here your goal is to really accumulate the organic traffic to bring to your store, as well as a loyal following, because that's going to increase your social proof. And the more social proof, the more organic traffic and traction you're going to get, because you have more, validity, social validity. And it's also going to help with your content marketing as well. So in terms of the traffic, you have 4 ways here that I can think of, actually 5. So Facebook, Instagram influencers or YouTube influencers, Google, Pinterest and Snapchat ads, or YouTube ads. So starting off with Facebook ads, I think this is going to be your main focus because it is actually the most powerful and the most potential to scale. So you should always learn CBO. You should start learning CBO actually, and really focus on the Power 5. It's something that not a lot of people talk about. Shout out to my friend and buddy Jandy for telling me this and for introducing me to this. Basically, you should focus on the Power 5, and CBO is one of the Power 5s for Facebook. And as well as that, as well as learning CBO, you should always test more as well. Test different creatives and stuff like that, different audiences, and more Facebook features like that. One thing to note is that Facebook algorithm is getting smarter, so you should work with them and not, follow their recommendations and don't go too much, don't deviate too much from their strategy or what they recommend. You should always keep auto placements nowadays. You should actually test you should also test auto placements nowadays, just because Facebook is getting smarter with your placements and stuff like that. In terms of learning Facebook, you should watch tutorials and strategies on YouTube for free. You don't have to necessarily buy a course if you don't want to, and this is actually what I recommend as well. And 2019 onwards, creatives is key, so make sure you're testing multiple creatives at once with CBOs. So you can put a few ads, different ads in the CBO into an ad set, or you could have 2 CBOs with 2 different ads within each ad set, which is even better. Let me know down below if you are kind of confused. I can actually make another video on that, on CBO testing. So just comment down below, and yeah. You're going to be using Facebook. You're going to be using Facebook for cold traffic and warm traffic as well, for the retargeting and just the the cold traffic, the new audiences that you want to bring in. As well as that, you can use Google Shopping ads is also recommended, or if you want to, and a brand search campaign, especially if you're actually building a brand and you want to have more brand awareness and more exposure like that. So when people search on Google your brand name or your store name, their results, for the results, you're going to be the first one that pops up. So you're going to be constantly reminding them to click on your brand and your link. So Pinterest ads and Snapchat ads, it really depends on your demographic as well. So I can't really say for everyone. Usually for Pinterest and Snapchat ads, they have different demographics, but for Snapchat it's a younger demographic. I would say if your product is more lean towards a 18 to 25-year-old demographic, then you could look into Snapchat ads. Pinterest is more on the older side, primarily women. So if your target market is women 25 or above, then you could consider Pinterest ads as well. And then we have Instagram influencers and YouTube influencers, which is very powerful nowadays. Not a lot of people do this, but it's very important to actually build a brand and build something that has a lot of social proof and is very visually appealing, because if you have a general store, influencers will not want to work with you. So we're going to be talking about personal influencers, brand deals and sponsorships that will really increase your brand awareness and your public exposure, as well as gain organic traffic and following to your social media pages. And last but not least, we have YouTube ads. This is actually a section of Google Ads, but for videos only, specifically for the YouTube placements. So for this one, you have to be short, concise, and sweet. There's actually no time for BS. So make sure you capture their attention in the first 5 seconds, and imagine yourself being the viewer of an ad. Because for me personally, I always skip, most of the times I skip most of the ads on YouTube, so you have to make sure to capture their attention and make sure it's really effective as well. And then we have the back end. Basically, this is consisting of email marketing and abandoned cart sequences. For email marketing, you want to nurture your email list, especially for Q4 coming up. That's going to be really important because you want to set it up, you want to build anticipation and give value at the same time. And when Black Friday or so comes, or Christmas holiday comes, you can send them a huge discount and then people will actually buy as well. So you should always nurture your email list. For your Shopify store, you're going to be using Klaviyo or OmniSend. These are the 2 best ones that I can think about. If you're using Sales Funnel, which we'll talk about later on, I'll recommend using GetResponse. You're going to be creating basically workflows and email flows, basically giving them value first and then sending them other products from your store that you want to promote. But most important is you want to provide value in the beginning first, because this is actually the relationship building stage. You want to kind of create a meaningful relationship with them and build a connection before you actually sell them on something. So in terms of abandoned cart sequences, you want to get your customers back to buy. So a lot of people, the first time they see it, they won't buy because they might get distracted. Either they're driving, either they're doing groceries, or they're just talking with their friends, they're just surfing on Instagram. So you want to make sure you get them back with an email sequence or some kind of abandonment cart sequence. So you're going to target people who've added to cart but didn't buy. And if there's a few ways of doing that. One of them is going to be email abandonment cart sequence. So make sure you have the abandoned cart email set up. You can use different apps on Shopify like Abandoned Cart Protector, or maybe even if you're using sales funnels like ClickFunnels, it comes with the software itself, and you can actually integrate with an email software that they can just automate them for you. And then we have SMS text retargeting. You can use SMS Bump. And then we have Facebook retargeting, again, basically utilizing Facebook to attract your warm audience back to your store and getting them to buy. So last but not least, we have the main strategy. And this is, I know what you've been waiting for this the whole time, so here it is. So it is basically to create a synergy and to really create the best of both worlds. So in the front end, in the just to acquire a customer, your customer acquisition strategy, basically to capture cold audience, is to be going through a sales funnel. So going through, getting them to go through a sales funnel from A to Z, kind of nurturing them in the beginning, let them know what your product is, how they can benefit them, some of its features, and then you're going to be going through, guiding them down through the sales funnel, and then getting them to buy more of your items. This is really going to increase your average order value, your AOV. You have a high conversion rate because you have almost no distractions from your Shopify store. For example, your product page, your categories and stuff like that. There's also better opportunities for upsells. It's either yes or no. Customers are actually guided the whole way through, and believe it or not, people actually like to be guided. I know for me, for something new, like if I'm seeing something new, I want to be guided the whole way through, step by step. And also how to implement, you can also implement subscription plans to get your revenue on autopilot and stuff like that. If you want to know more about this, I actually have a free training down below, so make sure you click down below for more for free training on sales funnels and ClickFunnels as well, specifically for e-commerce. As well as that, you're going to build brand awareness with your Shopify storefront. This is going to be your backend system. This is really going to help you with your customer retention rate, your repeat customer rate, and show them other products you have, upsells and cross sells, and what other products that are on sale, stuff like that. So you should always link the storefront to your social media page for organic traffic and sales. So this is going to be the main strategy for 2019 onwards and for Q4 as well. So you're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone here. So again, for the free training for sales funnels, I actually have a training down below. Just click the link down below and it'll take you directly to the training. So thanks again for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this one because this is packed with value, and I spent a lot of time putting this together, and it's perfect. It's the perfect guide for beginners, or you're just starting off to make your first 100K online and make a long-lasting business for yourself. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.